Hi, my name is Murray Wilkinson. I'm from Future Gen Solutions. Today is my birthday message. Another year older, in my case, and a birthday wish that today I thought I'd actually talk about the gender imbalance that currently exists in our retirement savings in Australia. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because of some recent episodes we've had with clients. But before I talk about that, I'll just go back and look at some of the facts. And I'm now talking about the average superannuation balance in Australia, which last year for men who are retiring was some $270,000, and for the equivalent value of a woman retiring was $157,000 rounded. So as you can see, there is still a large disparity between the superannuation balances of retiring men and women in this country. While the gap is closing, it's certainly not closing fast enough. And obviously it hasn't been helped by the fact that the 9.5% superannuation guarantee levy that employers pay has now been frozen through until 2021, because that's the main means by which people save. But my presentation today isn't to dwell on the negative, it's to actually search for the positive, because I don't believe that austerity is mandatory. And probably today that's a fitting name for this presentation. Austerity is not mandatory. What we've witnessed is that people believe that because their balances they don't have enough for retirement, and they know that, they believe that they've got to take a lot more risk. And what we have witnessed is people setting up self-managed superannuation funds with balances of less than $100,000, looking to borrow against the value of those assets in the superannuation fund, generally for property. They might have been sold this concept of buying a property out of superannuation, but accentuating and accelerating their risk, in the hope that essentially that might be enough to get them across the line. I'd like to basically say to those people who consider such options, there's a better way. And the better way is to sit down and take a more clinical, reasoned approach to how you're going to get there. And I'm just going to suggest a couple of things. Firstly, taking more risk, that is, investing in assets which are a lot more aggressive, doesn't necessarily mean a better return. In fact, if anything, it can blow up your retirement plan. That's the first issue. So more risk in itself isn't necessarily a good thing. The second thing is you've only got a certain amount of time. If you take more risk and things go south in a big way, then you can't recover. The game is over. But I believe that there's an option to also look at how you invest going forward. And by how you invest going forward, it's taking calculated risk, knowing what the trade-offs are. So that's the first point. The second thing is, and what we use with a lot of clients, is financial modelling. Most Australians are the beneficiaries of middle class welfare. And by middle class welfare, Centrelink and the benefits that go with it cut in for people who have $1 million of assets outside of their home. So, it's used often to supplement retirement income. And the third thing is how you transcend in terms of your working life. It could be a question not necessarily having to work longer at the same pace, but to work longer at a lesser pace. You go from 5 to 4 days, 5 to 3 days, but you work longer at that time of life. But all of these considerations together build a picture of what and how you can live at that time of life. So that's the approach that we take with clients. And given it's my birthday wish, I didn't want it to be an austere type of discussion this afternoon. I think the bridge can be gapped through planning, consideration, and certainly financial modelling. So once again, we're always here for people who may need advice. Thank you.